Hi there, my name is Marcus Lund.
The music is my escape into something bigger than myself. It sort of made me the resident playlist doctor at my school.
I really love sound.
Small sounds, the big sounds, and everything in between. Spoiler alert, sometimes things change.
What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to another Film Optix review, the first review of 2021 here on the podcast. And we are brought to you by the Drive-In Podcast Network. I'm your host, Christian, and today we're going to be reviewing the latest Hulu original film, The Ultimate Playlist of Noise. And I'm joined by my good friend and my co-host, Devin. Happy 2021. We've made it.
F 2020. We made it.
Funny, but hey, COVID's cured. We can go back to the theaters. It's all good.
Yeah. Everything's back to normal.
Everything's back to normal. It's great stuff. I absolutely love it. It's just, as well as COVID stops at 10 p.m. At least that's what the rule was at 2020. And now, since 2021, it's just gone, out the door completely, entirely. So
Yep.
we have nothing but ourselves to thank. We could go see Black Widow next week. It's out in theaters, so let's just get with the program.
Yeah, Eternals the week after. We're all good.
Yeah, Quiet Place Part 2, The French Dispatch. What else?
Bond.
Oh my gosh,
Everything's coming.
Bond, Fast and Furious. Oh Lord, Fast and Furious. But yeah, no, things are definitely going to get a lot worse, especially with people. I myself included. I mean, I feel like a lot of people are at fault of this. People did travel to go home for the holidays. But if you did, I hope the people that did travel for the holidays took a COVID test before leaving.
Yeah, nice small gatherings too.
Yeah, I went home to see my parents. Devin and I met up once, but we had to talk about some podcast stuff. we were like at least 10 feet away from each other, though. 6 feet apart. That movie, I still haven't seen.
Yeah, but I'm not going to be seeing that one.
Literally, I think we should see it just because we should review it just because of the pandemic. Because I don't think there's another. Well, there's that kind of quarantine movie that's coming out on HBO Max soon. That thing's called Locked Down. So
we'll be there.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. We'll definitely be there for that one. That one looks very, very interesting. Like popped up today. I was like, this looks weird. But a little bit of housekeeping news for everyone today. Before we begin today's review, we would like to thank Hulu for allowing us to watch and review this film. And of course, you can listen to this podcast on podcast platforms around the internet. And make sure to follow us on Instagram and Twitter at Film Optix. That is Optix with an X. Been a lot more active on our Twitter, trying to, gather some our little fan base and whatnot. It'll be a lot of fun. And, follow us there for all the great, nice little latest announcements that we make. Sometimes I post, news on there. Sometimes I don't. It's really hard to keep up with all that. And we're only two people. Devin's not much of a social media person, so I kind of understand that, and that's totally fine. Like, I mean, we swap stories back and forth, but we're only two people, so we can only touch on the news when we have the time.
Exactly.
So yeah,
but Hulu always hooks us up.
They really do. Like, I love them so much. They're great stuff. One day, this podcast is sponsored by Hulu. Not really, but this
it all goes back to Daddy Disney.
Yeah, so we're really working for Disney, is what you're saying.
Yes, Disney shills.
It all goes back. Yeah, I mean, we are Marvel shills, so there's always that. But yeah, let's dive into this review. Of course, it's going to be non-spoiler. We're going to try to keep it brief for everyone. 2021 we're trying out new things. So I'll read the synopsis really quick, and then we'll kind of just jump into it. So the synopsis reads: Marcus, an audio-obsessed high school senior, learns that he must undergo brain surgery that will render him deaf, and decides to seize control of his fate by recording the ultimate playlist of Noise, and by gum, it is a pretty good freaking playlist. The cast includes Madeline Brewer, Ann Gomez, and Olivia Cooper, directed by Bennett Lasseter, and written by Michelle Winkie. And of course, this is coming to Hulu on January 15th, the same day that WandaVision premieres, and the same day as Locked Down on HBO Max. So the first, like next week's going to be a nice Friday, like January 15th. This is going to be a really nice Friday for a lot of people out there. So I'm excited. You know, I will probably watch everything that comes out next Friday on the 15th. But yeah, I just wanted to start off by saying just my first initial thoughts about this review. It was I did not expect this movie to like hit me the way that it did. Like I thought this was just going to be like kind of like The Binge, you know, like this kind of like that funny little kind of like coming of age, like high school story, just like very by the numbers.
I had no idea what to expect. I just saw like a really weird title, and then I didn't know anything about it. And then we didn't know. I watched this.
Yeah, like I think Hulu had emailed us and saying that it was coming out, and I was like, oh, this. I mean, it sounds interesting as something to kind of kick off the new year and just go for it, you know. But yeah. It was it actually I teared up a bit, man. I'm not gonna lie. This was I guess I'll stop talking. What were your first initial thoughts about this?
Yeah, I will say also I was pleasantly surprised by this one. Didn't really know what to expect, but the latter half of the movie really brought it all together well for me.
Yeah,
I will say that like the first hour, the first half of the movie or so, it is like very kind of cheesy by the numbers rom-com type of setup, and it feels like it's going to be kind of just the cliches all over again until the end of the movie. But then there's a point where there's a bit of a twist, and then things start to shift around, and that's where the strengths of this movie really come out for me, because it was actually a pretty well done twist. I didn't see it coming.
I didn't see it coming at all. Like I
didn't know I didn't know it was possible for that to happen. The scenario for the twist, I was like, oh, I guess that's the thing, but it worked.
Yeah, the twist is very it's very eye opening. You know, it's it is about this kid who who goes through this these trials and tribulations. You know, he I mean, it already shows in the trailer that what's going to happen, but the way that it happens and how it is executed, like you said, the latter half of the movie was definitely my favorite. During the beginning, like it was okay, like you said, it was very by the numbers. Especially with the his two best friends.
Yeah, I was actually pretty worried the first half. I was like, oh, this is kind of just like every other rom-com. I was a little worried, but then they really bring it all together.
Yeah, and that's what at first I thought it was just going to be a just like some kind of like by the numbers coming of age film, but it's not even I mean, it is about coming of age, but it hits on a lot of different, mental health and
it doesn't fall into the same tropes that all the other ones seem to. Like,
yeah,
it doesn't end how you would expect it to end.
It is not. Like, this is probably I think this is a really good movie. I'm glad that we did watch this, because I wasn't sure what our first review was going to be, and I'm telling you, dude, that ending like really stuck with me, just from a few of my own personal experiences on my side. But it was I think this will be, I mean, it's so early in the year. I mean, I don't think this will ever get like any like Oscar buzz or anything like that, but I think people should watch this movie for sure.
And this isn't really like a spoiler or anything, but the scene where he's about to go into surgery, that one, got a couple tears.
That that is the part that killed me, because and a few scenes after as well, it was just like it just got super serious, super quick. All the jokes stopped, and it was just about that moment. And I really did like the cast. I mean, the parents, well, the mom
I thought the mom
really,
did really well, and the dad was just
yeah,
kind of comedic
yeah,
relief every
he
once
was
in a
kind of
while.
there. Yeah, he was all
I was
right.
trying to figure out where the main character was from, and I was like, oh yeah, he was in Alita.
Oh, was he in the? Oh, that's
Yeah.
right.
He was also in Euphoria, but I'm not picturing who he was in that show.
I know who he was. He was Ted Bundy, the guy with It was during the Halloween party. He was playing Ted Bundy.
Oh yeah.
And someone like made fun of his costume. One of the girls did.
Wasn't he the love interest of? I forgot her name.
Well, one of the love of the I don't want to. Okay, no, I can't say that on not on air. But I know what you're talking about. Yeah. So we watched from Alita. That's right.
Yeah, that's where I remember him from.
His face looks so familiar. What did you think of I guess his love interest, like the chemistry between them?
I thought she did really well. I do remember her in Hustlers. She was in Hustlers, and she was also in Cam, which is a Netflix horror movie that was pretty interesting.
She was in Hustlers.
Yeah.
Was that with
She was that the dumb stripper, I guess. It's the Jennifer Lopez Hustlers movie.
Oh, that was with Anne Hathaway, right?
No, Jennifer Lopez.
Oh, that's right. Oh my gosh. Wow. It feels like forever since we reviewed that. Oh my gosh. That's right. She was in okay. I remember her very well. Yeah. So towards the end, there's kind of like two different bows that need to be tied towards the end. And, when he's going through, getting these ultimate playlists of noise, it actually is a really good playlist.
Yeah. The noises are very, very satisfying noises.
Yeah, it's not just something random. Like, it is random. I take that back. It is random, but they even kind of mention in the movie, like, well, he's the guy who he's the music guy. He's doing all his music things. Him and his brother. So it's like they're a nice little pair duo there. But I really did think the chemistry between the two main characters were, I think they did a great job. It wasn't like your cheesy
how they met was a bit much for me, like how they ran into each other literally. I was just like, really?
You're talking about the first time, or
they didn't really meet the first time, but when they actually talked to each other for the first time.
Yeah, I feel like that was a bit cliche, you know what I mean? Just the kind of like out of nowhere, boom, here comes this person.
Yeah, that was a little over the top for me, and that's also, I mean, like, the first half I was worried, and I was like, okay, this is going somewhere that I don't like, but then they made up for it.
Yeah, no, they really did. I'm not gonna. I did jump at that part. Like, I was just sitting there chilling, like eating my popcorn and whatnot, and I was like, all right, this is. I'm like, we'll see where this goes, but yeah, it was. It went for sure, definitely. So I wanted to ask you really quick, like, between like the type of audience, like I really feel like after the year that we've had of 2020, that I think this is one of like the perfect movies to kind of like go into.
Everyone just take a seat and kind of reflect on what you got going on in your life, and just kind of appreciate what you do have.
Yeah, definitely. I don't really think there's like a specific audience for this film. I think this.
Well, you are a bit of a music guy, so I imagine this hit a little harder for you.
Oh yeah, dude, that was. Oh my god, I'm literally floored, dude. Like I love that ending. Like, oh my, it really, really just like hit home, and the whole music aspect. It's like there's nothing like it. it makes you feel good. Even when you're sad, it's you put on a sad song. Music is like a combination of like it's like a combination of your feelings. It's like if your feelings had like an actual voice, not just like the actions that you take, but it's man, I'm living down here in Music City. It's a great time. It was, man, it floored me. I keep saying that over and over, but it really, really did. That ending, or at least as soon as the second half of the movie started, it's just like, wow. Like I kind of want to watch it again, for sure. Maybe when it drops on January 15th, or maybe during that weekend, or I might show it to a few of my buddies down here. They'll definitely appreciate it for sure. But was there any? It did give me like it did bring a smile to my face in a way.
Yeah. I really liked his two friends too. They were really funny.
Yeah, it's not often that you see a male character who has two female like best friends with like there's no love interest between them. They're just friends. It's very
good to normalize that.
Yeah, platonic for sure. But of course, it's the other. It's like, well, we'll add in two girls, but there's also going to be another girl. But that's totally fine. But yeah, it was. So I have to ask you, Devin. So I know you've been building that little Blu-ray collection of yours. If this dropped on Blu-ray, would you add this to your library?
It's tough to make it on that list there. A lot of criteria has to be checked off.
How much do you have?
Probably like. Well, I've been getting a lot of dollar DVDs from Drug Mart.
DVDs,
they're $1, bro. Like,
get with the times.
$1.
Did you find a Wonder Woman 1984 in that bin?
Not yet. It might make it.
Did I tell you what my mom said? Well, when I tweeted the other day,
you said she didn't like it.
No, she did not like it. She literally said it belongs in the $5 movie bin.
My dad didn't like it either, but my dad also hated Tenet.
My mom didn't see Tenet yet, but it's like Tenet like requires like multiple viewings in order to understand what's going on. It's like watching Game of Thrones all the way through. Like the first time, you're not gonna like understand everything your first watch through if you know nothing about it. But yeah, anything else you wanted to mention before we close out here? We'll get into scores and be on our way.
I think we're good. Thanks Hulu.
Thank you, Hulu. Thank you, Hulu.
Disney overlords.
Yeah. Look, see, we don't support Disney directly. We go through Hulu. We support them indirectly. So I guess out of 100, what would you give the ultimate playlist of noise?
I'm going to go with a surprising 85.
Whoa. Devin, are you feeling all right? Are you okay over there?
The second half just really brought it all together.
Yeah. I was actually going to go with an 88 myself, just to, me being a big music person, and just the overall message in this film is like really, really beautiful. And you don't even see messages like this in coming of age, like teenage / rom-com movies. We kind of saw it in Good Boys, and we kind of saw it a little bit in I think we saw it more so in Booksmart than we did in Good Boys. No, I'd say Good Boys and Booksmart probably about the same. But this one really, it just puts things into perspective. It's more than about friends. It is about family and just about just life in overall, and being not taking what you have for granted, and just being grateful for the things in your life. And yeah, I I can go on and on about it, but we're going to close out here. Thank you, everyone, for listening to this review. This does conclude today's review. And don't forget to like and subscribe to our podcast on the platform of your choosing. There are a few changes come to the podcast this year. We will be dusting off the old YouTube again, working some things in the shadows there. Hopefully, I'm hoping maybe we can actually do it on Thursday for the newscast. That would be a lot of fun. Just to, not everything will be in place, but at least we can start, getting into the rhythm of things and just moving on from there. But of course, make sure to, I got to stop saying of course a lot. I listened to my last intro when we had Leo and Amanda on. I said, of course, like 7 times.
Of course.
And in like the intro of it. Anyway, that's one thing that's going to stop. But make sure to check out the other shows on the Drive-In Podcast Network over on the Music City Drive-In website at musiccitydrivein.com. I did drop a piece today on the most anticipated games of 2021. There's a lot of them on those lists I'm very excited for. It's a great time to be a gamer. Gaming, they've been thriving this whole time during COVID. People are buying digital copies left and right. People are streaming now more than ever. People are making podcasts now more than ever. But yes, of course. Wow. Again. Anyway, that was Devin. My name is Christian, and we will see you guys in the next one.
Peace.